There wasn't really a way to, well, I guess I kind of did a little bit privately about asking for questions and suggestions from the people that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should tell you who gave me certain questions I should talk to you or ask you about or not. You'll know, I think, some of them.
Okay. Now I'm
Uh,
curious. You had to say
I
anything, I might not,
all
but
right,
now I'm nosy.
all right,
I'm very nosy.
yeah. So
Okay.
the first couple questions I think are pretty. I don't know. I can't read some of them word for word because I understand the innuendo that's there, but obviously
Uh-oh.
there's some, the chair. Let's just say this. Talk
Okay.
about the broken chair story and the fact that there's like evidently there's a numerous wood jokes because of the broken chair. So for those that don't know the broken chair story, question one is what is the broken chair story so we can understand all the wood references. So we'll have to
Oh, okay. It's this chair right behind me, y'all. It's this chair. And I will do it just for the sake of okay. It's propped up against the wall. This is the wood right here. This is one of the leg. It's got four of these. And it keeps wanting to pop out, and I can't get it screwed back in. So I'm like, y'all, I can't get my wood screwed back in. Well,
there you go.
use your imagination. But yep, this is it.
Cue the memes. Cue the
This is it
memes.
right here. And I can't believe it. Of course, if I was sitting in it, it would be like, Nyeh. But yeah, this is the wood of the chair. And see, look, see the bottom? It's all rubbed off because I got hardwood floors in here and they're old. This house is like 170 years old. It's ancient. I mean, for America. I know, people over in Europe are laughing at us when I say that. But they're little uneven areas, which it feels smooth when you're just walking across it. But because the way it's planked, when you have a chair, some areas are a little higher than others. Well, because this is gonna screw in right, it's loose. I gotta glue it. When I sit and it scrooches on an area that's lower than the others, it'll just fall out of my chair. I gotta get it scrooch it right over the high part of my floor. So anyway, that's the wood.
This is
Blame
the
Mark and
wood.
Chris for that. They're the ones.
Arwen is holding the wood, telling the
Arwen's
story.
wood, y'all.
Anyway, look at Mrs. Canucks like out there. That's good. Mrs. C.
I got more wood from my desk, but that's for another time.
All right. Okay. Um, and I understand that you are almost single-handedly triggered by the word thrust, and therefore there's now a thrusting segment on BackTube. Is that correct as well?
God, I can't believe. Yes, it is. Straight. I don't know where. One day we were on BackTube, and the word thrust came up, and I was like, I'm so triggered by thrust. Well, the chat that night, everything out of everyone's mouth was thrust this, thrust that, thrust, thrust, thrust. I mean, they were like a dog with a bone. They would
Yes.
not let it go. And now Strike and sometimes Charlie and Leia Rose, and every time they come into BackTube, they're like, thrust. See,
Wow.
and Jeanette was doing it. I don't know why. I don't know why they find that so funny. Just the word triggered me. I was like, stop with that word.
Well, it is a little strange that you are they're blowing up the chat just so you guys see it. They're actually blowing up the chat. So
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't get it.
And
But
Agent
it is what
Atwood
it
does
is.
want to know like how are the kittens. So
They're
just
good. They're
yeah, there
good.
was
The
a
older
kitten. There was a
ones
kitten
are,
with us here for a minute, and now I think
yeah.
we've outlasted the kitten. So
Yeah, they're not crying anymore, so they wandered off and probably fell asleep or they're
right,
nursing or something. But yeah, they're all real sweet. They're good. They're good. They
all
need
right.
homes, y'all.
I did finally sell the goats, by the way. I was not joking when I brought that up to you
You
that one time.
did
Yeah, we did finally
good.
find it. We did finally rehome the goats to a good family
Good.
that were looking to have animals. So,
I'm glad.
and AJ, well, we understand. You have to do what you have to do.
He has to do
Thrust.
it.
Hey, listen, thrust is is an easier word to work in the chat, and some of that's in other words I can think of. So, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, nerdy. We'll go nerdy question.
Okay.
If you have to pick between, I guess we have to define our reasons because I didn't really. I thought the more I thought about it, I guess it depends on what we want to do.
Okay.
You have to pick a Mary Sue. Do you pick Ray or do you pick Captain Marvel?
Oh God, do I have to choose? They're both
So
so
you're gonna make another
annoying.
You're gonna make another movie, and you have to
Mhm.
use Daisy Ridley as Ray, and you have to use Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. Which one do you pick and why?
to be the Mary Sue,
To be the
it
character, yeah, that's
it
it.
would
So
be
you're either
Brie
gonna make us.
Larson.
You
Brie
would choose.
Larson.
You would choose Brie over. Oh, okay.
I would. At least Daisy has some sort of acting ability that I could work. Brie Larson is just the ultimate of Mary Sue. She's got that face on the whole time. Yeah. No, I'm not a Brie Larson fan.
So you're saying so Brie is a bigger Mary Sue. Like she
I
even
think
pulls it
so.
off in real life in a lot of ways. Yeah, yeah. You know, okay.
Exactly.
I think I misunderstood you a little bit where you were going, but I could think because I don't. Okay, this is not a praise of the trilogy, but I don't blame Daisy Ridley. Like I don't blame her. Like I don't think she's the problem. I don't think it was her performance really. I don't think it was she did some sort of weird underservice to Ray. There are scenes that are just cringy.
Yeah.
But you're right about Brie. And I said this, and I did a little thing on the announcement of her being a Fast and Furious or whatever, and I'm like, I just can't do it, guys.
I can't take her.
I just can't do it.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's brutal. And man, I got all sorts of crazy. I don't want to say hate, but I got Brie stands.
Well,
That's
I'm not a
video.
third wave feminist, so by any stretch of the imagination, and I can't get on board with Brie Larson. I just can't.
All right, how about a positive one then? Okay, we have to pick between Ridley from the Alien franchise or Sarah Connor from Terminator.
I gotta go with Sarah Connor. I love Ridley, but Sarah Connor is my spirit animal. When she gets all humped up and that gun and that cigarette hanging out her mouth and that hair, I'm just like, she is what I would love to be. Right there is Sarah Connor, not the new incarnation, but we're talking,
T2.
Number 2. Yeah, T2.
T2.
I would love to be a badass.
T2
like
Sarah Connor is Arwen's spirit animal.
She is. I love her.
That's awesome.
Just like, go girl, because she's tough and she's empowered without saying, hey y'all, look at me, look how tough and empowered I am, down with the patriarchy. She just does her business. She gets it done, and it is what it is. So yeah,
because even in Dark Fate she didn't have that kind of attitude. She just was it was just an overzealous script that was trying to push the agenda. But see, okay,
and I like to think maybe there's hope for me, because in the first movie she's kind of soft, she's kind of sweet, she got the hair, she kind of does her thing, and then she's just this tough, hardened. So maybe there's hope for women like me that we.
So the new Terminator movie involves John Connor coming back and going to Arwen's house, going, "Listen, Arwen, we have to talk.
No.
We have to talk."
No, I don't want to be mother of the new world. No, but you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
I'll take her physique and her toughness. That'll work.
All right. Okay, not which do you like better, but which would you rather live in, the Star Trek universe or the Star Wars universe? Ooh, well, the problem there is the universes are too big. Like, where do I have to live in the universe?
Yeah.
Like, can I just be?
I'd rather live in the Babylon 5 universe, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'll go with Babylon 5. That's my favorite.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're in the Star Wars universe, but you're in certain planets, it's really not that horrible of a life. So it's not even a fair thing. But and then the great Ripley quote.
And I do love Ripley. Y'all don't get me wrong, but Sarah Connor.
I really want to watch. I'm with you, man, Squeaka. I love watching the first 2 Terminator movies. I actually just watched them a few months ago.
Maria.
Hey. And Kyle Reese. I know where you're going with that. If they had to fight one another, though, couldn't Ridley take Sarah?
Oh, that's a really good. If she had one of those big machines, she could.
Well, maybe. Well, I know she had the machine, but I'm not. I don't know. T2 Sarah versus Aliens Ridley. That's probably pretty close. It's probably pretty close.
So. I mean, yeah. Ripley was completely capable. And she had that tactical mind.
We have to stop the show. Squeaka, are you talking about the Terminator movies or the Aliens movies?
Squeaka, you gotta watch.
You have to watch the first 2 of both of those franchises. Like that. It is extremely rare that we can say sequels live up to the originals, and these are both 2 franchises where we can at least have an honest discussion about Alien versus Aliens and Terminator versus Terminator 2. Yeah,
I agree.
All 4 of those movies are must watch. So Squeaka, you have homework to do.
And they're 4 of my favorites. So
they are both fantastic films. So I think if we took the weapons away, it could be interesting. So
I mean, in a skin fight, my money's on Sarah.
Okay.
My
All
money's
right.
on Sarah because she was in an institution and she did the with the guy, the leg and the all. Yeah, no, my money be on her, but
Agent Atwood and I are going to have to agree to disagree about the Predator movie. Um, okay. Yeah, I think it's another bait and switch, third wave feminist, little girl, teen girl in a Predator universe. Can't. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'd love to see a good Predator movie, but I can't hold that in the same standard. Squeaka, by the way, Predator is not in the same conversation with those other four, by the way. And yes,
hey,
Squeaka, you're
Quincy.
very bad, very very. Time out.
Time out.
Daryl's popped in. Let's see here. T2 Aliens are the best sequels of all time. Only time the sequel is better than the OG. I only can add Godfather 2 to your list as an arguable, as companion as well to your list. But from genre films, I can say that. But Empire Strikes Back should count too, man. Empire Strikes
Yeah,
Back should count.
yeah. My
Excuse me.
favorite Star Wars. Now I'm doing it. I'm crossing universes.
Yeah, we are. We're really messing up our stuff here. So, all right. So let's go back to Crazy Land. Let's go into Arwen Land just a minute. We got another question from the group, and you know about this one because they brought it up. They used all sorts of weird words for you, whatever, to explain what was thrown out there as dwarf thirst. Some Richard Armitage love, I think, is where we were going with this. So
He's like 6'3" in real life, y'all. He's 6'3". Okay,
yeah.
I just think he
He's a
looks
pretty big
great.
dude. He is a pretty
Yeah,
big
he
dude.
is.
I don't understand
I
why
like
he doesn't
tall.
keep more of the rough look too. Isn't that weird that because
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Viggo Mortensen did the same thing, right? They look this look. They got this scruffy look. They're rocking this appearance, and next thing you know, the next time you see them, they're clean shaven, their hair cut off. My wife was devastated. She's like,
I
"What did
like
he?"
the scruff.
Yeah, my wife was the same way. Like, what would because I think we were looking at. Oh, it was it's a Timothy Oliphant. She was looking at Justified Timothy Oliphant. Then after he shaved and was clean cut and whatever, and she was like, "Nope." I'm like,
it's not the same. It's not the. I don't know what it is, but you get yeah, yeah. I think Thorin Oakenshield is a hottie, but he's really tall in real life, y'all. Let's keep that. Don't get it twisted. I like tall.
All right, Squeak is putting together a list.
Nice.
Yes, sooner than later, you need to do that. Both those movies are very, very important. You need to, and then we can talk about it in more detail, Squeak, because they are both fantastic. And you please watch them in order. Don't try some weird out of order nonsense.
No.
All right. I can't wait to see Darth Vader in Star Trek. Just Haze and Hot Louds, all that. And yes, hey to everybody else that's been popping in and out. That was our dwarf thirst reference. So my grandson once said, "This was I kid you not, totally unprompted." My wife, I wish I had her. I wish I could just get her to know. She'd have the context probably. My grandson looked at us and said, "According to my research," and then ... So he's this 5 or 6-year-old that starts a sentence with, "According to my research." So I ask Arwen, "According to my research, 13 is your favorite number. Why?"
You really have researched, haven't you?
You can't get past the Google News guy, just so you know. Those of us that were really he really took that as a serious side hustle. Yeah, we actually 13 is your favorite number. Why?
Impressed because I don't even remember mentioning that. I mean, obviously I did, but there's a symmetry to it, and and I like everything associated with 13. 13 is associated with black cats. I love me some black cats. 13 is associated with, a superstition and Halloween, and that's my favorite time of year. I'm an autumn child, and I really gravitate towards that. Oh, this is going to sound so bad, but when the leaves turn and fall off, they're dying. I mean, it's just there's something about that with the cool wind, and I love it. And like I said, I get a little woo woo with my spirituality. So yeah, it's a beautiful number, and it all started. I turned 13 on Friday the 13th, and one of the best birthdays I ever had. So right there, that proves
There's
to me
the origin story.
That old superstition.
Okay.
It's just nonsense. And then the more I thought about the number, all these other images came to mind, and I started paying attention. And like I said, noticing the things it was associated with, and I was like, dang it, 13 is my jam.
Okay.
And I've loved it ever since.
Well,
So
Squeaka
yeah.
agrees. She says her favorite number is 13 as well. Agent Atwood makes Friday the 13th references with Jason Voorhees, and then of Halloween and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want see that was the origin story. That's it. You turned
Mhm.
13 on Friday the 13th, and it was a
Friday
great
the
birthday.
13th.
And after that, there was no turning back. That's
Yeah.
the origin story.
That is it. That is it. That's where it all stemmed from.
I
Yeah.
would love to know the origin story of some of the men because we tend to be very superficial. Because for me, 11 was my first jersey when I played sports. It was like that was it. That was it.
Okay.
Just 11. Just like, but it could have been any number. There was nothing special about it. It wasn't like I was emulating a player I liked or anything like that. It was like, oh, here's your first one, and then at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Yeah, it was really So
Yeah.
all right. Bone chimed in that the Munsters had 13
Mockingbird
Yeah,
Lane.
yeah, very true, very true. So
That's one of my favorite shows. So it's just a great number. I love it.
okay, well then we'll call that out then. Okay, so we'll add that as a question. Let me make sure I make my notes. So I got this is a question then. Okay, so Munsters versus Addams Family.
I don't know. I love them both. I really do. And some days I'm Morticia, and some days I'm Lily. So it just depends on the mood I'm in.
That hair is way too red to be Morticia.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Okay.
I probably if I like had to sit down and I had to choose one or the other to watch, it would probably be the Munsters. Probably be the Munsters because I don't know. I love it. I like the silliness of it, the all American family. God, it was great. So
Awesome.
yeah,
That's
I like them both.
Agent Atwood is keeping an ongoing list now of sequels. So we have Godfather Part 2, Aliens T2, Empire, and
Ooh,
Wrath of
Rapid
Khan.
Fun.
Times when the sequel has outdone the original. For now, I will let your list stand. I need more time to think about that because I'm not sure that's. Sometimes it gets hard because a movie can be so good and you forget, So, but
Yeah.
that's a very good list. That'd be a great list, by the way, to start
yeah.
with. Marie want to know what she missed. You missed a whole lot, so I have to go back, and all the emotional part of our show was there. So.
Love you, Maria.
Daryl says his first jersey was 9, but his favorite number is also 13. And then he makes comments that he's trying to see if I will acknowledge, and I am not. As
Thank
Agent
you,
Atwood
Twinsy.
mentions Munsters and more Munsters, and can't
Mhm.
wait for the Rob Zombie Munsters.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll
I
see.
guess I don't know. I am an Addams Family person. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it was.
That's okay. My husband used to say that we were Gomez and Morticia at certain, at least during Halloween. But he preferred the Addams Family too, so it was kind of this unspoken between us. But I like them both. I do.
Okay, so all right, this may be a two-parter because I had one question, but then I had a question that came in. I was going to ask if there's an animal that you are afraid of.
Yes. I'm deathly afraid of to the point where it's a legit phobia, and then one I'm just scared of. They make me nervous, even though I think they're beautiful and I love them. The phobia one is cockroaches.
Oh, okay.
No lie. I cannot even be in the room with the dead one because they freak me out so bad. And, my husband used to take care of that, and that mantle has passed on to my son, much to his joy and delight. Can't deal with them. I just can't. And then the other animal that I think they're absolutely beautiful, but when I'm with them in person, they legit scare me are horses because they're so big. Just their height and their girth and everything it scares me. And then they turn their heads and they roll their eyes and look at you. And I'm like, I don't have an apple or a carrot. Please don't eat me. I think they're beautiful. And I don't mind being on horseback, but just being next to one, they make me nervous. They legit make me nervous.
Okay.
So, but yeah, roaches, no.
So what is the story that's associated? Why am I supposed to ask you about owls? They're an owl story?
The roided owl?
It didn't include roided in the description.
Okay.
It is an owl. So what happened with owls?
All right. Owls, that was my husband's favorite animal. That was like his spirit animal was the owl. And it has since become mine. But one night was not too long after he died. I was laying in bed and I heard this noise outside my window in the tree. It was this owl, and this owl sounded so angry and so big. It was sitting up there, and it wasn't just going, hoot. It was going, hoot, hoot. I'm like, what in the world is this owl possibly fussing at? And I'm like, I'm listening, and I'm going, what is up with this owl? And it was, it was the angriest sounding owl in the world. And I wanted to go out and see if I could find it, but I was terrified because we've got the big great horned owls around here, and those suckers get big. And I don't know. I was like, there's no way I'm going outside. That was going to carry me off. Well, it was on. I think it was the first or second episode of Pink and Purple. And she had mentioned you have a roided owl, an owl full of steroids. Well, that took off. Away. That roided became owls. The roided owl, and that's kind of a trademark of mine, is this freaky roided owl.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess I can't invite you to visit the farm because we have an owl.
I love owls. I love owls. I absolutely adore them. But this one sounded so bad. And I remember my husband used to say, if you ever see an owl or smell roses or anything, that's me coming back saying hello.
Aww.
And I remember
he had something grouchy to say, I think, that day when he was
like, what I said. I'm like, Robert, if that's you, can you just go on and quit? You're freaking me out. It's the middle of the night. It's this stupid owl. And anyway, yeah. So that's the roided owl. And I'm actually going to do a T-shirt of a roided owl with on it at some point.
That'd be awesome. Roided owl.
He sounded so angry.
Yes, that is awesome. Great comments. Great comments about their girth being quite frightening. That would be Daryl, of course.
Thank you, Twinsies.
And horses aiming for your chest. Yeah.
Ooh, they're
all right.
Big. They're just tall.
Bone has a bad cockroach story, but I hate frogs the most. Okay. Yeah, my daughter-in-law. I have a daughter-in-law that hates frogs. She's deathly afraid of frogs.
Yeah, I'm not fond of frogs either.
Oh, Squeaker, yeah. Standing next to a Clydesdale would be bad. They're huge. Yeah, we actually...
I believe it.
Busch Gardens in Tampa used to be owned by the Budweiser family, and they had Clydesdales on property, and you could get right up to them. My wife is in awe of those animals. She loves them so much.
Beautiful.
She can't ride, so when we got the farm, we ended up getting donkeys for protection to protect the other animals, and then she's fallen in love with donkeys. So we actually have 6. And just as dangerous as horses, I assure you. They are not to be trifled with. I am very impressed with the, I'll call it athleticism and strength. So,
okay.
Oh, Squeaker, you worked with Clydesdales? No, see, there's a story. I got to take note to myself. I want to hear the Clydesdale story. Yeah, because that's
gorgeous.
It's incredible how big and strong, and they enjoy working too. So it's like they're very majestic because they, if you ever see them pull a cart or something, it's just incredible. So. Oh yeah. Frogs. Frog dissection was always strange, but I was, a science major. So for me, okay, I'll tell you a story. I actually did this. I don't understand how I even was able to pull this off. We did a frog dissection in, I think it was my junior or senior year in college, and I hooked electrodes up to the thing so it would twitch and stuff like that. So when my lab partner left and came back, I was sitting there and like it was... I wasn't always a good person. Actually, most of my life I was not a good person. But yeah, I was Frankenstein this frog in my class.
Wow.
There's a lot of crazy things like that I would do. I was not a good person all the time, tormenting people. Yeah, Tweeka's described that the Clydesdales is huge. That they're big babies, like huge dogs that think they're lap dogs. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine that.
They are gorgeous. I love them.
From the smell of the dissection. Oh, so Asia and I was talking about the frog dissection, the formaldehyde. Yeah, formaldehyde does smell pretty foul. It's a little rough to handle that. I cannot imagine, Squeaker, though, that lapdog. So we have a mini donkey that was just born. Like when we got the mama, she was pregnant. We didn't even know because she's not. Didn't get. Well, come to find out, they probably bred her with a mini because he's really small. Well, he acts like a dog because he doesn't know. He's only been around us. So you can call him by his name, Little Milton. His name is Milton. Milton comes over and leans on you and whatever. So I can relate to the lapdog, but not a Clydesdale. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So Maria, I can't do the web zombie. Oh, we're talking about. We're still going back and forth on the Halloween and Rob Zombie stuff of doing the Monsters film. So formaldehyde story. I guess teachers ran out. I'm just standing there like, what? Like, what's going on? Got it. Yeah. Squeaker says no. They just act like they'd actually sit on. No. Actually, they didn't sit on. But the fact that they would be, but they do lean, right? Because that's what the donkeys will do. They'll lean in for attention. They all do that. So the little one, I could see him. Yeah, they'll lean in on you, and I can see how that would make Arwen very, very nervous because this giant animal.
You go crush me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're doing all right. We're going through the list pretty well. We've got some questions knocked down. So,
okay.
Is there a bizarre or strange collectible that you have? Almost like it's not really a collectible, but maybe it is to you.
A bizarre or strange collectible.
So, for instance, I have plastic seaweed from the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride at Disney when they closed it. I find that a very odd thing to have to explain to people when they see it. They see it and they're like, what is that? And I'm like, that's seaweed. And they look at you like, what? And I'm like, okay, well, there used to be a ride at Disney called the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride. And they had all this stuff. And there was plastic decorations. When they closed the ride, a friend that I knew, I was writing for a website, he had met the guy that, took a lot of the stuff out of there, I guess, and just gave me a roll of the seaweed. So I have a roll of orange seaweed from the Disney theme parks, formerly 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride. That's bizarre. And that, You got anything strange? Anything weird?
The only thing I have is an ashtray in the shape of a human skull.
Oh,
it even has the top that comes on. You put
so the skull opens.
Yeah, it opens.
Where did you get that?
Sitting there, it was my husband's, actually. It's not a real skull, y'all. It's a pewter skull. It's not a real skull. But it's the size of one, and it was my husband's. And then, when he died, it became mine. It's one of my prized possessions.
Do you do anything strange, like put like red M&Ms and stuff in it or anything like that, so it looked like you open it up? And
no, but that's a fantastic idea. Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna do that.
Especially around Valentine's Day, they do red and white, so usually still half of them.
Now I do collect when my cats lose their whiskers naturally. Never, ever, 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 ever pull their whiskers out, y'all, because they need their whiskers. That's important. But they shed and grow new ones, and they fall out. I collect them and I put them in a little organza pouch because I just can't bear to throw them away.
How would you find them? What? You've lost me. You've lost me at whiskers are on the floor. Like I would never know the difference between a whisker and a hair.
Oh, believe me, when you sit on one, you know it, because when they fall out, it's like a little quill on the end where it pokes in. Yeah, I've sat on them and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? And I pull it out. It's a cat whisker. Because the little where they stick into the skin. Maria knows that. Maria knows, she's got cats. It feels like a quill. It feels like a little point.
I can see you coming out of your wood chair because you sat on a
I've sat on them. I've stepped on them. I've seen them just shedding, floating around, falling off a cat. You just find them around. They're long and you can't miss them.
You're gonna make some sort of weird mini brush or something out of cat whiskers?
I don't know. It's weird. I know, Mary. I know. Yeah, it's pokey. It's pokes you. You feel it. I just put them in a little organza pouch and save them. I don't.
I have to go back. I have to go back, Squeaker. You made my day. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you clarified when you said my husband. I thought you meant my husband's skull.
No.
Even though we all know what you mean, Squeaker, that is just great because that is how our brains work. We hear a sentence like that, and sometimes we don't have commas and stuff in there. And you're like, oh, does she mean she has Robert's head like pops open candy jar? Or like, no. She means
cremated, honey. It's all good. No, it's a pewter. It belonged to him.
Yeah, that is so funny.
No, no. I love my husband, but not that much to keep his head. I'm sorry. No.
Squeak is also the part of the cat whisker network there. So
and they're pretty. Sometimes they're multicolored. Sometimes most of the times they're white, but sometimes you'll get one that's part black and part white. And I don't know. I told you I was a little woo woo.
That's a good one though. Okay, cat whiskers. I have to make a note of this because I'll never forget cat whiskers.
I'll see if I can find it. I think it's in my living room on the shelf. But yeah, I'll find
cat whiskers. That's so funny to me. I was not expecting anything like that. Just so we're completely clear. So.
Well, that's the weirdest thing I own.
All right. I think we're on question number 12.
Okay.
cruising right along. We'll see how this goes. So,
All right.
comments are going faster than I can keep up. So, hang on, make sure I didn't miss anything here.
Okay.
Bone says, found a whisker the other day. It's pretty thick.
Yeah, you know it when you step on it or sit on it. You will know it.
They're bigger than regular hair too. You know when you see one. They're thick. Well, evidently, Arwen has sat on them, so we have more than just seen them. We just know.
Poke.
Mrs. C needs to see the jar of the cat whiskers. We're gonna let Arwen get the whiskers at some point. We'll come back to
I'll see if I can find them and take a picture of them. It's been a while since I found a cat whisker, but yeah, I'll show you. I'll find them.
Maria, do you collect?
Maria.
We can mail them to Arwen. We find one. I don't know if it's just really a whisker or not. Just start mailing really things to her. You gotta get a post office box so people can mail in their whiskers. That's just, I know. I'm sorry that it's catching me off guard because of all the things. I was like, oh yeah, and I keep them. She tried to slide that in on me, folks. Did you notice how she did that? Oh, yeah, I find them and whatever. And you sit on them, they poke my booty, and I come flying out of my wood chair. But sometimes, I just keep them. I have this little satchel, and it's for the cat whiskers.
Organza pouch, and it's got cat whiskers in it.
Okay, cat whiskers. Cat whiskers. Squeaka says mail her 13 of them. That's the masterful callback message right there, Squeaka. Home run. That's fantastic. That's a great
y'all
callback.
know me better than I know myself.
That is the best. That is the best. Okay.
I'm learning a lot tonight.
So we're going to sit down and we're going to play the board game Clue. And you don't get to be Miss Scarlet.
Oh!
See what I did there? Are you Mrs. Peacock or are you Mrs. White?
I have to say Mrs. Peacock.
I knew you were going to go Mrs. Peacock. It was almost like a too easy of a question. I kind of regretted. I kind of regretted burning a question on that one because I kind of knew, but it's like I don't know.
Yeah, I love peacocks. Actually, I think they're beautiful.
Do you think it reflects someone's personality by the token that they want to play, though? It's a little different for you because you have red hair, so obviously you're going to be naturally drawn to the Miss Scarlet character usually. But
yeah.
Does it reflect, like, for a man? I think it's a very indicative thing if you see if they want to be Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum, or Mr. Green. Like it somehow reflects our personality of which of those we want to be.
I think so. So. It's like, because if you don't get to be the one you want, you don't enjoy playing as much.
It's like people fighting over the shoe and the hat in Monopoly.
Yes, this is very true. Or the doggy. I always wanted to be the little dog.
You always want to be the dog?
Yeah. Because he was cute. Yeah. Nobody wanted to be the thimble. We were all like, meh, I'm the thimble.
I think Agent Atwood and them are still laughing at us, and we got you on the cat whisker story. They're all still going. Oh. Squeaka, you made my day with like a double callback. So that was so awesome. And
Squeaka,
we'll have to do stuff like that too. Yes.
You're amazing, Squeaka.
Squeaka's great. That was the best. That is just the
sweetheart.
best. Thanks for hanging out with us, Squeak. Okay, so let's go back to our list. See what I've missed. Okay. Let's go back up to the top. See if something else. Okay. Really good. Really, really good. Really good.
I'm getting afraid.
So what was you talked about your journey on YouTube a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, I can never move on because the chat is so good. It's like Bone likes to be the car.
Like, okay. Yeah, the car was cool.
I like
the car was cool.
Because it was always a retro car. Like it was always a cool old car.
Yeah.
What was the journey like to say, I'm actually going to hit publish and do this video on YouTube? What was the brain thoughts happening in your head when you're like, I'm actually going to do this, people?
Well, I had started, wow, that's a good question. I'd started guesting on other people's channels. Like I was on, the very first stream I was ever on was Purple Valkyrie's, one of her member streams.
Okay.
And then the first actual guest where it was like, yeah, come on and I want to talk to you was Loki's. I was on back when he was doing Women of the Fandom. He had me come on, and my first thought was why, but okay, because I guess I'd have been in chats enough then, and I'd gotten to know people. They kind of got to know me, and people were asking particularly after that interview, they were like, okay, you need to get your own. Why don't you get your own channel? You know, you like to talk, you like pop culture, you blah 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I fought it for a while because I'm like, what would I talk about? What would I do? I don't know. And then I thought, you know, it would be really cool to have a show with someone, and you know, someone I could banter with, someone I could, you know, get comfortable with in the medium and kind of dip my toes in. So um, I thought of Pink and Purple, and I asked Purple. I said, what would you think about doing this with me? We call it Pink and Purple in the afternoon. You know, kind of pink is my favorite color. She's Purple Valkyrie. You know, kind of a play. And not fully expected her to say no because, you know, Purple was established. She was busy. She was doing stuff. And she came back with, sure, sounds like fun. And I was like, oh my God, she said yes. What do I do now? Okay, I guess we're doing this. And it was late September.
Wow.
On my channel, we had our first one, and we swapped back and forth, you know, between weeks. And it had a good run. It had a good run, and it was a fun show when we were doing it. So,
Bone says they first saw you on Fat Steven in the chat, and
yeah.
Joker's voice is back with us. Hey, Joker.
Hey, Puddin'.
It has been, and I don't know what clicked for me like 6-7 weeks ago. It clicked like, you know, if I'm going to do the YouTube thing, like I had to kind of like have a strategy, like how do I turn the faucet back on, the promotion and all of that. And one of the things that the biggest problem I have with the pop channel in particular is because I've been doing it for so long, but there's all these peaks and valleys with the work that I had done. People don't even know me as a live. So all these people that had subscribed in the very beginning, I didn't do any live streaming. So for them, I had to cut them off Facebook completely. I can't, if I stream to Facebook, they'll be on Facebook. They won't come over here. So I had to stop doing that. And then I was like, well, how am I going to grow and find new people to reach and spend time with? How will I stream? I didn't like streaming by myself. The guests kept canceling on me, things like that. And it's like, I just started kind of dipped a toe in the water. I think it's a lot of what you said. You were nervous about talking to Purple, but then it was like the arms were wide open. And I think everyone's kind of like that a lot more than you realize. Isn't that?
It never hurts to ask. Yeah, it never hurts to ask. You will never know anything if you don't just take a chance and ask. True. You know, I figured the worst that's going to happen is she's going to say no. And then I either come up with something else or I do it on my own. You know, I wouldn't have been out anything.
Right.
And it just so happens she said yes. And then after that, I started, Arwen Afternoon and then Arwen After Dark. And then, we've got the Bougie Boozers and it's just kind of all over.
Word vomit. Yeah. I got it.
Word vomit. Thank you.
Full circle on that.
I'm so glad I'm so associated with something called word vomit. That just makes my heart go bitter bad.
See, you'll understand how sweet. You'll understand how funny it is if I get the clip. I got to figure out how to lift it because it's in the middle, and I can't find the clip anywhere online already. So, Joker's blowing kisses. So.
Oh, Joker, Mr. J.
Let's see. People. Oh, well,
For now, but never know. Yeah,
hiatus.
You never know. Yeah, exactly. Hiatus. There you go.
And then someone else says it was the global sausage stream
with Maria. It was a girls' night. It was her, myself, and Tracy. We were drinking wine, and Maria was drinking mead, and Tracy was drinking. I forget what Tracy. She was drinking something fancy. And, her and Maria had this really classy, bougie stuff, and I had like, $5.99 barefoot wine, pink Moscato. And that actually, Maria is responsible for a lot of what people call lore of the Arwen verse. Right there, the first clips of me and my big mouth came from Maria's tree.
That's funny.
Also,
the next question, which was, I was like, okay, I can't say it to the very end, but I was like, I got to get to it.
Okay.
Why do you think your Georgia house is haunted?
I just got weird stuff happening here. It's not confirmed that it's haunted. Just my bathtub.
It's not confirmed. Haunted. Like, how do we confirm a haunting, Arwen?
Well, I think my bathtub is haunted.
The bathtub is haunted?
It turns on by itself. It doesn't just turn on. It plugs itself and it fills up. I need to train it to put in bubbles and do it lukewarm or hot or whatever. So when I'm ready for a bath, it can be ready. But
All
I
right,
just
hold
have some
on,
weird
hold on,
things happen around.
hold
My
on.
forks
So
go missing.
your forks are missing, and the bathtub fills up by itself.
Yeah, I have no. I'm living on plastic forks because I refuse to buy any metal ones. I'm just done for years. My forks have been disappearing, and I'm convinced there's either a Bogart living in my wall, stealing my forks, and that somebody 100 years later I'm going to be dead. They're going to come out. They're going to be remodeling, and they're going to knock out a wall, and a million forks are going to clank on, bury somebody. I'm not kidding. My forks disappear. My kids swear it's not them. Oh, it used to drive my husband crazy. He would get so irritated. He's like, where's our forks? I'm like,
So
I don't know.
this is not a new phenomenon. This is something that's gone
Oh
on for
no,
a
this has
minute.
been happening on for a while. Yeah. So I've been working between chopsticks and plastic forks because I refuse to buy any more metal ones and have them go missing. And the plastic ones, well,
Well, she'll have to put a PO box on her channel so you guys can mail her 13 forks. That's the next 13 forks is the go-to here. Atwood again,
yeah.
Ghost Adventures. Yeah, it
So,
could be. She could be.
although I did have one thing debunked. Okay, things would get moved around in the house. They would move from one room to another. Well, I found out what that was. My kids would knock something over, and then instead of picking it up, putting it back where it was, they would just continue on where they were going to the kitchen and just drop it wherever they wanted. So that has been debunked.
Oh, well, so this sounds like the forks are in their room. Like this is almost like a CSI adventure and
I'm
then a ghost
telling you,
adventure.
I pinned them down one day and I said, "All right, you need to tell me right now. Are you throwing away my forks?
I wouldn't tell
Where
you.
are my forks?" And they
If I
both
was
like,
hiding
"No,
all the
mama.
forks
No, mama."
and you talk to me that way, I would purposely go get more forks. That would
But
be like,
they would complain about it too. They would come to me, "Mama, can you find me a fork?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, can I find you a fork?" And they're like, "My forks." And they're 19 and 22. Okay, so this has been going on since they were like 13 and 16. So
so
they're
there's
old enough
years.
to.
So there are years and years of forks missing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm stubborn now. I'm obstinate, and I don't want to spend the money on any more dang forks until I know for sure they're going to stay in my fork drawer.
Well, here's one theory: is that she's secretly making clothes and accessories from the forks. So get ready for a new fork hat.
Well,
I'm looking at like a milk carton with little forks on the side, missing MIA posters.
So anyway, I
It's
live in a
not the
weird
Gremlins,
house.
but that's what the Gremlins would want you to think. Okay, yeah, that's very, very
It's
good
like
point.
Spiderwick Chronicles around here. I need to put a mushroom protection circle around my home or something.
I just love the fact that you think the fork.
I don't know. I'm out of explanations. Right now, I just go with the flow.
See, but I'm going to warn you now. We'll see if you remember. If we ever have a meal together, anytime
Okay.
you give me an opportunity, I'm stealing your fork. Just so we're completely clear.
Okay.
It would not be even remotely something I would forget. I'd be like, there is no way this woman's going to have a fork. We were going to do out of our way to make sure she does not get a fork. So
my first alt account was Mary, and it was Arwen's missing fork. That was the very first alt account that ever cropped up from all these crazy stories of mine.
May the forks be with you.
Thank you, Bone.
Fork hats, easy money.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to my life.
Goodness. This has been great. So, do you decorate for Halloween and Christmas?
Oh, yes, I do. Very much.
Any crazy traditions or decorations that is part of your traditions?
Yes, actually, we our tree topper is the mask from Scream.
What?
That's
okay. Wait. Hold on. We are talking about Halloween at this point, though, right?
No, I'm Christmas. What's his name? Screamface or whatever the heck he is.
Yeah, Ghostface.
Y'all know what I'm talking about? Ghostface. That's our tree topper
for Christmas.
My husband loved masks, and he collected masks. And one year we didn't have a star. We didn't have anything to put up there. And we were looking through his masks, and I'm like, "What about Ghostface? You like Ghostface?" And he said, "Why not? It's our Christmas tree. We could do what we want with it." So yeah, that's kind of been a tradition now. The Ghostface goes on top of our Christmas tree. Wow. Is that weird?
Yes.
Okay, well.
Yes. There's no hesitation for me. Yes.
Yeah,
it is weird.
Yeah, but you know, for Halloween, it's mainly we don't go too crazy. We go like lights, pumpkins, anything autumn because I go crazy for autumn decorations. You know, autumn garlands and you know, stuff like that. You know, black cats. You know, witch signs and you know the witch lives here and you know out broom flying and stuff. Of
Do
course,
you
I
have
keep
a
those up all
photo
year
of
round.
your tree with Ghostface at the top of your Christmas tree?
I think I do. I think I'll have to look at my phone and see if I
You
can
need to,
find
you
it.
need to, you need to, yeah, send me that picture. I got to see this for
I
myself. It's
will.
crazy.
I
People are already
will.
sending in photos from our short talk here, so I can't imagine what it would be like if we spent time talking regularly like this. Wait, that's not the right one. I'm going to end up sharing the wrong page. Hang
Yeah,
on
I'll
here.
look. I think my daughter actually, she may have one. If I don't have one
Oh,
on
I have
my
to
phone,
share
I think she
Twitter.
has one
It's
on
on
her phone.
Twitter, so I have to share this. There we go. People are already
Yeah.
sending in some suggestions and some thoughts for us to ponder. Is what it
Okay.
would be like if.
Oh, God. Oh, it almost looks like a tiara. I've always wanted a tiara.
Well, they're
Get
spoons,
it?
so they're kind of rounded on top. So yeah,
Yeah,
but if they
yeah.
were, it easily could be transformed into a fork tiara
I'll
for
do the
you.
fork one. I'll be unique and original. I'll do the fork.
Oh my gosh, that's great. It's just
Y'all never
awesome.
heard the ghost face, Mary? I thought I told you that about the ghost
Uh,
face was our tree topper.
I understand having a Halloween tree, Apollo. That's why I thought that's what she meant when she talked about Ghostface. And I thought
No.
she was going to say, well, we're going to have Ghostface for Halloween, then we take Ghostface off, we put on like Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas or something like that. That okay, I'm good.
Yeah,
But no,
no.
Ghostface is on Christmas.
He's our tree topper for Christmas.
All right then. Okay. Okay. To pick up the don't forget to
Hey, it
pick
could
up
have
the
been
Ghostface for the
William
topper.
Shatner's face from Halloween, but for Michael Myers. But no, we went with Ghostface. I like that better.
Yeah, it's like how many movies are there? Like Who Wants to Put the Angel on the Tree? But at Arwen's house is Who Wants to Put Ghostface on the
It's
Tree?
true. It's
I
true.
know, Mrs. C. I'm with you. I want the photo. So
What?
the moment she says it, please do not share the photo with anyone. You have to at least let me have the opportunity to be the one that tweets it. Because the
I will.
only
I
people
will.
that
I will
saw
ask my
this,
daughter. I will ask
I'm
my
not gonna
daughter, and
make
I'll say,
I'm not
"Look,
gonna make any reference. I'm just gonna tweet the picture, and only those of you that
okay,
know this story will have a clue on why on earth would I be tweeting a picture of a Christmas tree with Ghostface on it. Because
all
this is
right. I will see if we have some. I'm pretty sure we do. I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. But if not, if we don't, I'll definitely get some this year.
oh my
I
gosh,
will take
it's
it a whole catalog of
so
Ghostface.
funny. My house is like insane for Christmas. So for me, it's like I'm just having a hard time processing the lack of Halloween meets Christmas tree amalgam there. Because I have like I've done a Darth Vader tree because I have a giant Darth Vader helmet
Oh,
that I put on it
nice.
with cool stuff on that, and
Hmm.
my mother-in-law had one that's like a Nutcracker, so it has a Nutcracker head or hat or something with a
Okay.
snowman, but nope, Ghostface.
Ghostface. I mean,
You probably have one of the few Ghostface Christmas trees.
and everything else is traditional. You know, the
Anyone else want to get a
garland.
Christmas tree? Give me a little thumbs up in chat if you want to get a Christmas tree. Put a ghost face on it and then decorate it in forks in honor of Arwen.
And owls. We gotta get owls.
And well, one owl
What
with
owl?
with an attitude. He's like
Yeah, a
steroid
roided
owl.
owl.
Yes. Wow.
I don't know.
Bonus question from the chat about what's your favorite scary movie, which is funny because of the Ghostface reference, obviously. But
No, no, no. I mean, although I do like the Scream movies. It depends. One of my favorite. It's more of a. I prefer more ghost story movies than slasher movies.
okay.
So I would have to say I love Lady in White. I love
Mm,
that movie. I like The Conjuring, even though it's based very loosely on the real story. That scared the heck out of me. That
okay.
really did. But it's got such a good story. So yeah, I would definitely have to say those two to start with. When a Stranger Calls, that's a good one. I feel like I'm probably forgetting a ton, but yeah, those are the kind of I like suspense, ghost story kind of movies.
Did
Yeah, but
you
Lady in White is a perennial favorite. I love that
did
movie.
you watch the new Scream movie?
No, I didn't. I didn't realize they
It's
had a new one.
yeah, it came out earlier, and it's
Mm-mm.
like secretly woke. Like it's not woke the way other
Is it
movies
like
are
a
woke.
remake or a continuation
It's a
of the same
continuate. Well, it's an effort at a
continuation?
continuation. Their
Okay.
effort their effort is admirable. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would, even though I didn't like it. But it made me go back and watch the old ones again, and how much I actually enjoyed them, and like a guilty pleasure. Like I'm not going to put them in the same class with a lot of the classic great films, but it's a fun horror, scary
It's
film.
what I
It's
call
fun.
popcorn movies. Just
Yes, yeah.
sit down, have popcorn, enjoy it, plug your brain off for a couple hours.
Okay. I think some of this stuff it's like ornaments. We can send you ornaments made from forks. And did you have a preference between Christmas or Halloween? Because now at this point, it's all blended together. I'm not even sure there is a difference at her house. I'm not even sure.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, do I have to choose? I will say this: I start coming alive in the fall. Like the fall is my spring. The
Okay.
fall is my beginning. That's when I feel like I'm reborn. Is in the fall, and that usually starts that September, October. By the time we're in October, I'm ready to roll, y'all. I am ready to roll. So I guess, although I do like them both equally, but that anticipation for Halloween is just there because that means fall, cooler weather, hopefully in Georgia. Um, yeah, I get that anticipation.
Okay.
When I was a kid, definitely Christmas, but now that I'm older, Halloween.
All right. AJ, I would say they actually enjoyed the new Chris Green movie. Look, it's a tough call for me. Tough call. I didn't hate it as much as I thought, but I was like, as I went through it, I'm like, oh, this issue, that issue, whatever. So, but yeah. Yeah. AJ would also talks about autumn, so yeah, I understand the appeal. In fact, when you live in the South, you definitely are looking forward to the September to October change, where that kind of thing, where you can kind of get.
August is always the hottest month in Georgia. It's just
it's
brutally
insane.
hot. I hate it.
Okay,
I
let's
prefer cool weather. So.
That's another question. I started this with Captain Trek, and I ended up on another show, and I derailed their show for like 20 minutes because of other OGs like myself. Arwen, did you go to the drive-in much as a youngster?
No.
Because you lived out of the country. I didn't know that when I came up with that question. Since you lived out of the country, drive-ins are not a thing. You've never been to one. Okay, all right. It's a bizarre experience to try to explain to someone in some ways.
Yeah.
Did you ever sneak into a movie?
Yes, I have done that.
What's your first one, or do you have a special memory about sneaking?
Oh yeah, what was the name of The Enemy Within? That old movie, The Enemy Within, the old horror flick.
Yeah.
I was very young. I mean,
too young.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was, I think, 11 or 12.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that. So we snuck into side doors when they used to have side doors.
Ooh, you did a side door sneak. Okay.
Side door sneak.
Okay. All right.
And that movie scared me. I wasn't ready for it. Even though I'd probably watch it now and be like, it's cheesy, but anyway.
So, like, do you have like a scary movie experience when you were like really young? Well, I have like one, but it's always like, yeah, what's that?
Oh my gosh, yeah, one of my favorite scary movies. I knew I was gonna. The Changeling with George C. Scott.
Oh yeah.
That wheelchair scene scared the bejesus out of me.
How old were you?
Scares me.
How old were you when you saw that? Because that is a really weird mess with you in a moment.
Now I did not see that in the theater.
Right.
How old was I when I saw that? I saw that on VHS. I think I was 12 or 13. And that freaked me out. And to this day, I have to watch that scene like this. That wheelchair, I'm like, I know it's, no, here it comes, no. Yeah. But it is such a good movie. The story, everything about it, I love it. It has enough scary elements. It has mystery element to it. And now, under my circumstances, I can relate to his character losing his wife and daughter.
Sure.
I understand what it's like to be a widow. So that kind of compounds it. I get that. I get his just need to get away and do his thing. Yeah, I love that movie. But that
one gets you. Terrifying. That one's a good one. That's a good choice.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I saw Jaws at the theaters at age 6.
Oh no! Did you really?
My aunt was my babysitter, which was So basically, I was the kid that went along so they wouldn't get out of control on their dates. That was kind of how that went. So I just got drug along wherever she wanted to go and take me. So I remember falling asleep in the back seat of the
Oh,
drive-in. But I remember
yeah.
seeing back then it was like double feature stuff. So I remember seeing Grease and Jaws. And I remember being so terrified by Jaws, I was holding like the back of the seat in front of me, peeking over, and
What a
I
weird double
cried
feature.
and screamed when they tried to put me in the bathtub. And it was like days before I would calm down about it. And my aunt's trying to
Oh.
swear me to secrecy. And yeah, Jaws
Hmm.
in the theater, traumatized. Traumatized.
I
Yeah.
believe it. I believe it.
I was on
Yeah.
a stream with 540 Studios. Someone shared a photo. They will screen Jaws now with everybody in like inflatable boats out on the water. And I'm thinking to myself, could you imagine that in the 70s and 80s when it first came out?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that would mess you up. That would
Hmm.
mess you up back then.
It's intense. It's
Yeah.
intense.
Let's see. Tons of chats going crazy, of course, talking to each other and us and what else is so an owl with a fork hat on your tree. That's a great idea.
We'll see.
I decorate a Christmas tree like a TARDIS. Yes,
Oh,
that's a
that's
great option. That's a cool idea.
cool.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's
Okay, what
cool.
do we got? I'm trying to translate. Christmas, ghost, fork. Got it. Favorite slasher film. I'm a Halloween person. I'm a die-hard Halloween fan. I just rewatched a bunch of them, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I
probably the
love.
original Halloween.
That's what I'm
The
saying. The
original
Carpenter
Halloween.
one. Yeah.
Hmm.
And as a film nerd, when I found out like how little money he had and how Jamie Lee Curtis brought her own clothes and stuff like that, it was just like,
Yeah.
well, I'm really hooked now because it's almost like the of it
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
I like. I
Even though
actually
I'm
like.
not a big slasher fan in general, but I do love the original Halloween.
Yeah. I don't care for most of the other friends. Like, I'm not a big fan of Friday the 13th. I only like Nightmare 1 and Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I don't really care for
Oh,
those.
I can't watch those. They freak me out. I can't watch
They
those.
kind of mess with you a little bit.
I
So.
watched one, and it was the one with the girl in the roach scene where she gets in the roach motel. After that, I said I can't deal with these. I just can't deal with
All right, Agent, we'll have to talk because I'm not sure how I can agree with you on this whole new Scream thing. We can talk about all the flaws that I have with it. So, also points out there's a drive-in in Atlanta. I'm not sure we have. I think here in town we
it. Yeah.
probably have one or two drive-throughs, but they're like hybrid drive-ins where they're like flea markets by day, drive-ins by
Hmm.
night. So I don't know. The new Batman at a drive-in. It's an awful long movie for the drive-in. Woo.
Yeah.
It's almost 3 hours, man. It's a long movie.
Vengeance.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
vengeance. Like, get on with it. I gotta go home. The battery's gonna be
Stomp,
dead.
stomp, 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 stomp.
I love Sweeney
Sorry.
Todd with Depp. Love it, love it, love it. Lena Buckenroy was amazing in that movie. Okay. And then my first horror movie, Film Exorcist at age 3.
Oh
That's like child
God.
abuse.
Yeah,
3.
that's a rough. I won't watch that movie now.
Woo. When
I
she goes down
can't. I
that
can't
stairs
deal with that
backwards
movie.
like that, man, I was like,
Whoa! And that
wow,
head
I was
spins
done.
around,
And I
and
was
all the
only a
puke.
little bit. I
No.
mean, I think I was maybe
Mm-mm.
10 or so, way too young to see Exorcist. You saw it 3. We're going to have a therapy
I
conversation because
cannot
there's
deal
got to
with
be
that
some,
movie.
woo. Yeah, that was a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Paulie, we should talk about that. Seeing Star Wars at a drive-in when 6.
Oh wow.
Man, that is a cool story. That is a
Yeah, it
cool
is.
story. Friday the 13th references. Not a big fan of slashers. Joker voice
Yeah,
says.
not my favorite.
Yeah, drive-in in Vegas. All right, yeah, cool. They're still out there. They're out there. Oh, I saw Jaws, and now I can't go in open water. There's a film called Open Water about being stranded in open water, and that movie really did creep me out a little bit. I didn't like that.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I haven't
Yeah, I
seen.
didn't
I've
like
heard
that.
about it.
It's not a great film or anything like that. It is also low budget or whatever, but it's just something about, getting in your head or whatever where it just sort of kind of messes with
Hmm.
you a little bit. So I've kept you for
Yeah.
so long. I should really run through my questions here because it's going to be keeping you forever. Uh, uh, favorite comfort food? What's the go-to comfort food?
Cheeseburgers and fries.
Cheeseburgers and fries. Okay, not sweets. Huh. All right. All right.
If I have to choose sweets, though, I would say cake or cupcakes. Probably cupcakes with
Cakes and
lots of
cookies.
and not. I'm not talking about that nasty whipped frosting. I'm talking the real buttercream gets in your
Mm,
arteries. Oh, if I'm going to eat a sweet, I'm going to eat it right, and it's going to be the real deal.
that's it.
But yeah,
Yep,
cheeseburgers and fries. I'm a meat and potatoes girl.
that's
Been hard
awesome.
to lose weight that way, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Daryl saw Alien in '79. He was 8, and Star Wars had a drive-in at 6. This, I tell you what, that's the best, man. Star Wars at drive-in stories. That's just great, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the downstairs crawl scene was on the director's cut, so it wasn't in the theatrical release. How did I see it then? The version I saw
I don't
had
know.
it in
I've
it.
seen it and I didn't. I
Did
can't.
not
I just.
like it.
Ugh, no, I'll pass.
We're not alone with our fear of open water. Joker voice is like, nope.
Yeah. Nope.
Yep.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Yep. And yes, I'm buttercream, of course, because you're not really something's wrong. I got to be honest. There's like red flags in this world, in my opinion. If someone doesn't like bacon ranch and things like that, it's like if you don't have a couple of like buttercream's kind of on that list too. Where it's like if you don't like buttercream,
Mm-hmm.
you should be a little concerned
The
about
real
your judgment.
deal.
Yeah.
No whipped frosting for me. Nope.
Oh, I see. Comfort food, cool ranch Doritos. I can totally approve of that. Absolutely. And there's also nothing better than burgers and fries.
I
I'm a
hear you.
total burger and fry person as well. Not
Mm.
sure I'd count that as my comfort food, but yeah, it's up there. Did I get the other submitted questions? I did. I got all those. Okay. When you saw Avengers Infinity War, which I assume by now you've seen,
Mm-hmm.
which death is the one that got you? Which moment is the one that, did it make you cry at all? Did you get a little verklempt?
Spider-Man's. Yeah, Peter
Spidey.
Parker's got to me.
Yeah. The Mr. Stark moment.
That got to me. The Mr. Stark. Yeah. I was like, oh no, not Peter. Even my son was like, Peter Parker, mom. I said, I know. And I like Spider-Man. I mean, he's not my favorite Marvel character, but I like him. But yeah, that one got to me.
Were
I have to
you
say.
happy with that film? That the way they, I won't say that they pulled it off because I'm not sure as big of a fan as Endgame, but I have to give them credit. I came away feeling like, oh, they actually went for something. They actually tried to go for a big swing.
They did try. They did try. Now, I had not seen Doctor Strange before I saw that movie. So when I came into it, I was a little lost. I mean, I knew about him,
Okay, that makes a lot of
but
sense.
I was like, what? I felt a disconnect because I thought we were going to go straight from Civil War to that film. And I guess you do if you've seen all the other films, but
Mm,
I felt a disconnect, and I was like, who are these people and what's going on? I mean, I know this Doctor Strange. Why is he there? But I didn't have that background. So I had to, after watching it, I had to go back and watch the other films just to kind of make it connect a little more. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
well,
I
you're not
enjoyed it.
alone. My daughter cried a little bit over Peter. It was because I
Yeah,
saw the
it's
movie I saw the movie at a screening ahead of time, so I knew it was coming. So actually, when it
mm,
happened and I screened it with the family, I actually sat there watching their faces to see how everybody would
yeah,
react. And people were gasping, like in the audience. It was like,
it was a shock.
Black Panther, and all these different moments. And of
It
course,
was a shock.
I'm a comic book nerd, so I'm like, none of this is real, right, guys? Like, this is not happening. Like, this is not. You're like, calm
Yeah,
down. So I wasn't really. I mean, it is still an emotional gut punch. I say that because they went for it. Compare
yeah.
that experience to Revenge of the Sith. Did you have the sort of like, wow, they went for it kind of feeling?
Not as much as with the Marvel one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
It wasn't. I didn't
I
have sadness. I just had the, wow, they really went for that. Wow, you know what I
I mean,
mean?
yeah, okay. If yeah, all right.
I'll
Aside
frame
from
it.
the
Let me frame.
sadness,
Let me reframe it that way. It wasn't
okay.
sadness. I don't have sadness for Anakin, but I had a. I don't want to say a shock factor either, but I had like
Well,
kind of almost like a
see,
wow factor almost.
I hated Anakin until I saw Clone Wars. I couldn't wait for him to just shut up and become Darth Vader because at least Vader was cool.
Oh yeah, no, I
I
understand.
I could not stand Anakin, and then I saw the Clone Wars series,
Hmm.
and they had the time and the story to fill out what Anakin was supposed to be about. And in all fairness, they were trying to cram so much into the into the 3 that it was just, he just came across as whiny and a pain to me. And I held that opinion for a very long time.
Sure.
And then when I saw Clone Wars, I got what he was about. And then when I went back and I watched those films, I actually was like, Anakin. Oh, I feel for you, dude. For the first time in my life, I feel for you. So, in a way, it kind of redeemed, the Clone Wars redeemed Anakin for me.
It really definitely added a lot of depth. I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Chat's blowing up. We got to run through a couple. I see you, the guys. Let's see. They're correcting the Exorcist thing. So the Spider Walk is in the theatrical release, removed for DVD and then put back on the director's cut. Well, I saw it in theaters. I guess I don't know. I don't. Maybe I didn't own a DVD copy for a while because I have a director's cut, I guess. So saw Star Wars opening day. Mom is still salty. May 25th is her birthday, and Dad took you to the movies. Wow, what a story!
Why didn't she go with y'all? She should have gone, unless she was just like, I'm not.
Man, that is a sweet story right there. Hooking you up with all the merch. It's always good to hear. Daryl confirming the Exorcist story. Question: this is easy. Burgers or hot dogs?
Burgers.
Yeah, burgers is like 1, 2, and 3 on my list. For
done. Burger.
I just burger. I'm burger. I'm good. Yeah. Burgers. Yeah, hot dogs are not on the list. Hot dogs just I can go a long time without having a hot dog. I'm good without a hot dog for a while. Yeah. Let's see. Widow's death. Okay. Tony's death. Okay. At this point, I have to be honest, I was getting a little checked out on the whole MCU experience of it all a little bit. Like I was kind of like, yeah, okay, you know. So yeah. And The Crawl was the theatrical direct. Yeah, okay, everybody's giving me all the stuff. So
all the details.
Yeah. Okay. So growing up, favorite cartoon?
My favorite cartoon.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera's and Scooby-Doo's and all that kind of stuff out there. That stuff appealed to the young Arwen. It's also weird because you went overseas. What's that?
I liked Underdog.
Oh, yeah, Underdog. Didn't see that
and
coming.
I liked Hercules.
Hercules? Yeah.
Remember that? It was a very brief stint of Hercules.
I don't remember
Hercules. But then again, like I said, I wasn't here a lot. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome. All I can remember. I've watched more action show. I mean, like real life, not real life, but
live action shows.
Thank you, live action. I couldn't think of it with real people. Yeah, and Disney movies. I did love Disney. I did love animated Disney movies. The full movies, but yeah, I'd have to say that.
All right. Well, I've kept you for almost 2 hours, so you're so good with your time. Can you believe it? It's been that long.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you for all of you guys in chat, throwing some extra questions and stuff in there. It's been a fun time. Hopefully you learned a lot about her and maybe a little bit about me, and we had a good time and shared personal stories and fun stuff, debated hamburgers, forks, and owls.
Thank you for having me. I've had a blast. This was so much fun.
Bone really pointed out Garfield was your favorite, but that says a lot about, man. It says a lot about your personality whenever, so. Best cartoon was Batman animated series, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons. Can't argue with that. Scooby-Doo, Power Rangers, 89. Well, yes, good stuff.
I did like Thundercats too. Thundercats.
Yes,
now.
Thundercats.
Oh.